Ganeshaya Namaha, Sri Saraswati Namaha, Om Namo Gurubhyah. And quickly do Shuklam Varadharam together. Shuklam Varadharam Vishnu Shashivarnam
Sashivarnam
Chaturvedam
Sadbhujam
Prasannavadhanam Dhyayet Sarva
Dhyaye Sarva Vigno
Prashantaye.
Prashantaye.
And what is the next shloka in the Vishnu Sahasranama? Vyasam Yasya Dviraja Vaktradya Parishadya Parashatam Vignam Vignantish Satatam Vishwak Senam Tamashraye. This is a new shloka. We'll get you trained in that. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. And Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Then before that, I missed Vyasam Vasishtha Naptaram Shakte Pautramakalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukatatam Tapo Nidhim. Then we have other slokas. So we'll make a pause there with the prayers and we'll get into Vishnu Sahasranama meaning. So all these slokas which we chanted right now, they're all coming before the actual Sahasranama conversation between Yudhishthira and Bhima, Bhishma Pitama, regarding what is the dharma we need to do and all that. So that is coming a little later. We might be able to enter that area today. And so we have to first go with our Shuklam Varadhara Shloka. Before that, you all, if you are able to chant Vishnu Sahasranama, please continue chanting, whenever you can, or listen to Vishnu Sahasranama if you can. So this is all, this is so much Mangala. This is the sound, the Vishnu Sahasranama, the names of the Lord, the Almighty itself can bring the effect. So this is one thing I want to emphasize. But if you know the meaning, it is even better, right? It is like you like ghee, but if somebody gives you along with ghee some honey, it's even more better. So some gold along with some scented gold. Gold itself is great, but if it is scented, so that likewise meaning really enhances. Sone mein sugandh, kehte hai na? In Hindi they say sone mein sugandh. So this is the speciality of knowing the artha also, meaning also. And so first sloka is very popular. We all know. And that is Shuklam Varadharam Vishnu, right? My books slipped there. Bhagavan says, don't use a book, just go on. So here, see, the Shuklam Varadharam is, you have to take the word first, Dhyayet. Dhyayet, should meditate or should contemplate, should think about. Practically, we only think about Ganesha. We don't really meditate. So thinking about who? Thinking about Ganesha. And Ganesha is a Vigna Harta, one who can remove all the trouble, all the obstacles, they say, on our way, on our pursuit. It can be a spiritual pursuit. It can be a puja. It can be a material pursuit. Ganesha can remove the obstacles. So we seek his help. Ganesha is a very, is Vamana Rupa, is a short form with a big tummy, of course, we know that. Ganesha's famous tummy. And Ganesha is looking forward to help you. So why won't we seek his help? By invoking him first. He feels offended if you don't take his help. That is Ganesha. So that is the speciality of Ganesha. And see, Puja Swamiji gives a little commentary here, and he says how the one who is removing the obstacles is the one who is also the giver of everything, including the obstacles. And so it is like one who can create only can know exactly how to remove that also, right? The creator is the one who is an architect behind certain thing. He is the best person also to know how to bring down, say that architecture. Suppose if an architect is a building, beautiful building, and but it is so old, they have to renovate it, they have to break it down. The best person to actually help them to do that is the person who constructed that, who helped in that. So you will be called and you will be told, where can we start with? You cannot just pull the wall apart and have the roof fall on your head, right? So, so Ganesha is also like that, who is also the Vigna Karta. Bhagavan, but Vigna Karta, Vigna is not something Ganesha is waiting to create. He is not a troublemaker. The trouble which we are facing, it is all to some extent based on our own omissions and commissions, right? Our own omissions and commissions are there as an obstacle, and our mind is also there as an obstacle. And this you can call papa and punya and all that, but this is all based on our human free will. You can say something is a papa, is a sin, and something is a meritorious activity only if that person who is committing, if you agree, if you agree that he had the free will. If he does not have the free will initially, then you cannot blame him for doing something wrong and something good. So our Hindu religion is about, having that total free will as a human being. If you don't take a free will into account, you cannot also talk about good and bad also. So it's not a religion just talking about karma, just talking about past life, and it's not about that. It is about your free will actually. But with our free will, we can abuse it. It becomes a papa. So these all accumulate as obstacles over time. And Ganesha Bhagavan can be the one who can remove that. And that is why it is also for that reason. Sarva Vigna Upashantaye. So this is what I have been explaining this word. Sarva, all, Vigna, all the obstacles, troubles, he can Upashantaye. He can put an end to them. He can make a shanti. He can bring shanti, peace in your life, so that you can pursue what you need to pursue. And Ganesha himself is, how do I meditate on Ganesha? You think of Ganesha as the pleasant-faced Ganesha, the Ganesha with the beautiful trunk, with the two tusks. One is broken, and so that kind of a Ganesha. He's got a very pleasant, attractive, pleasing face. So Ganesha can be prayed as a prasanna vadana. The prasannata is there, that smile is there. In all our deities, the smile is there. And that smile is there in spite of our murkata. So, it is easy to keep smiling. I can try to keep smiling for some time. But when I see something not going the way I want it to go, immediately my face changes, right? So our face changes, right? The reaction changes, the reaction happens. We don't have say over that. But Bhagavan, he can be kindly, compassionately smiling, even looking at the foolishness of foolishness of people. So that way, people feel not hurt. They feel encouraged to do something more and all that. That kind of a pleasant face Ganesha, you can imagine. And Shukla Ambaradaram. Shukla is white, and Ambaram is a cloth or garment. So, what is Ganesha wearing? This Ganesha who you can meditate is wearing some white dress. The angels and all, they all wear. The wedding also, they wear some white dress in this countries, right? In this country. So he's wearing a white clothing. Dharam means, is wearing. Vishnu, this Ganesha is also Vishnu, in the sense he is everywhere. And so this Vishnu name is there. So this shloka can be both for Ganesha and also for Vishnu Bhagavan. The first shloka can be like that. So you should, I don't know how many of you noticed that word Vishnu is also there. And so Ganesha is there. Wherever you want, he will come. That is Ganesha. You want in a puja, Ganesha, I'm doing a puja. Please come. Make sure that it happens nicely. Ganesha will come. That is Vishnu. He'll be there right there. Ganesha, I'm too tired. I'm too sleepy. I don't think I can get up early and do a puja. So come little later. Ganesha will come a little later. Bhagavan himself is like that. So we want Bhagavan to be everywhere and also not to be somewhere when you don't want him to be. So that is our Bhagavan. So that is the Vishnu. He can come and he can come later. He can come whenever you want. That is Vishnu. That is the power of our Bhagavan. Sashi Varnam. Sashi is, again, it is a moon. Moon is called Sashi. Some people have this name, Sashi Kumar. Sashi they have. So Sashi also, they sometimes, some girls may also have Sashi name, but Sashi is basically a masculine name. Sashi is moon. And Varnam, so his skin is of the hue of the color of the moon, lightly, kind of yellowish, moon's color, just for us to help meditate. And some of the Ganeshas in the north of India, you have in Sindura. Sindura is red, orangish red. If you come to the south, most of the Ganesha statues is a dark granite stone, it's a murti. So that is all. Those are also colors of Ganesha. You can meditate on Ganesha, whichever you are familiar with. Then Chatur Bhujam, four arms. So he has a noose pasha, and then he has an axe on one hand, two hands, and then the third hand he has a modaka. He has got a gift for you. He's got a beautiful laddu, sweet, in his hand, modaka. And in the other hand, that is, I think modaka is on the left hand. The right hand, he has his broken tusk. He is holding his tusk also, which he used as a pen to pen down the entire Mahabharatha. So that tusk, the famous tusk, broken tusk, he has in one of his hands. So that Ganesha with four arms, you can pray. And also Mahavishnu also, Bhagavan also has four arms. Mahavishnu, Shankha, there is that disc. Sorry, Shankha is conch, Chakra is the disc, and then in in the third hand he has the Gada, the mace, and fourth hand he has a lotus, Padma. So this is Bhagavan Vishnu also having four hands with all four things. And we are bringing Ganesha into our minds to help us be able to chant and complete the chanting. So that is Ganesha. And then your Upashanti, all the obstacles. It can be either from yourself, you being someone being sick, and it can be from outside. It can be all the noises. It can be a mosquito. It can be the weather. So it can be all sorts of obstacles. We don't know. We don't have say over most of it, right? So all that Ganesha can help in taking away. And then what is the next shloka we have? So next shloka I want to say is this shloka, which in the south of India, especially in Tamil Nadu, I think, they have this extra shloka, which many of you might not be familiar. Though don't worry if you're not familiar with that. And but I just want to cover that also, which is, Yasya Dviraja Vaktradyaha. Yasya Dvirada is again an elephant faced. Dvirada. Rada means tusk, two-tusked. So this Ganesha, which in the south of India, our Vaishnavas pray as a part of Vishnu Sahasranama, it is also having this is called Vishwaksena, and he also has an elephant face, but he has got two complete tusks, not a broken tusk. Then Parishadyaha. Parishadyaha is all those, he's got a huge retinue of army, and just for helping you pursue in your goal. Parashatam, and Parashatam means hundreds of soldiers he has to help you. And Vignam Nignanti, with all those soldiers, Vignam is all the obstacles. Nignanti, he puts an end to all those obstacles. Satatam, forever. And Vishwaksenam, that Vishwaksena, here is a name for that Bhagavan, Vishwaksenam, Tam, to him, I take refuge in him, Ashraye. That is the shloka, which is an additional shloka. Now, having said that, so I'll just read that one more time. Yes, said Dviraja Vaktradya, Parishadya, Parashatam, Vignam Vignanti Satatam, Vishwaksenam, Tamashraye. That is a shloka. Then Vyasam Vasishta Naptaram, right? Or is it Narayanam Namaskritya? Okay. What do you have there? Narayan Namaskritya or Vyasam Vasishta Naptaram?
I have
okay. Well, I'll do in the order I have it in this book.
We have
Vyasam. Then before the Vyasam Vasishta Naptaram, we have this shloka in some of the books, which is Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet. I am highlighting this shloka because this is one of the first shlokas before Mahabharata is being told, one of the first shlokas, where Janamejaya, the one who is the speaker in the Mahabharata, the main speaker, he is doing this prayer to Narayanam, Bhagavan, Narayanam Namaskritya, having done Namaskara to Narayana. Naram, who is Narayana? Naram Chaiva Narottamam. He is the best of all the beings. He is the Bhagavan who is above, who is taking care of all the beings. Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim. I also pray to Saraswati Mata. We all want as the seekers of knowledge, and in any area, what you want is knowledge makes all the difference. Knowledge is power. In all your accomplishments, you're able to shine because of the knowledge you have. You've been hired, you've been, for all that knowledge you can contribute, right? So knowledge is a great contribution. And knowledge makes a difference in the pay also, right? So PhD means more pay, like that. So what I'm trying to say is this knowledge is under the adhina of Saraswati. So Devim Saraswati. We pray to Saraswati also. Then the speaker of Mahabharata, which is Vaishampayana, he says, Vyasam. My salutations to Vyasam also. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tataha. After that, Jayam Udirayet. This word Jayam is another name for Mahabharata. Mahabharata has got several names. Jayam, victory, is one name for Mahabharata. And then the other name is Likita Veda. The Veda which is written. It is equivalent to Veda. It is not really one of the four Vedas. It is equivalent to a Veda which is written in the written form. And the third name for Mahabharata is Panchama Veda, fifth Veda. So Mahabharata, in which we have our Vishnu Sahasranama, in which we have Gita, it is considered to be the fifth Veda. So that Vyasam, Jayam Udirayet. Let me be able to say the Mahabharata. This is a part of the prayer also. Then we'll go to the next one, which is Vyasam Vasishta Naptaram Shakteh Pautram Akalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukatatam Tapo Nidhim. So Vyasam, my namaskara to Vyasam. This is the Guru Parampara. Look at the Parampara. The Vyasa, we know, is the author of the Mahabharata, and hence the Vishnu Sahasranama also. Vasishta Naptaram. He is the great-grandson of Vasishta Rishi. Vasishta is a great Rishi. Everyone knows the name Vasishta. Many of you might know the name Vasishta. One of the Sapta Rishis, one of the 7 Rishis, and he is the direct son of Brahma himself. So that is the Vasishta Rishi who is directly born to Brahma. And our Vyasa is a great-grandson of Vasishta. His lineage, Vyasa's lineage is being mentioned in this shloka. Then Shaktehe Pautram. So Vasishta had several children. He had 1,000 children. And the eldest is Shakti. So although Shakti is a feminine name, it is also rarely used as a masculine name. And Vasishta's first son is called Shakti. So Shaktehe, of Shakti, he is a grandson, Pautram. Pautram means grandson in Sanskrit. And he is Akalmasham. Akalmasham will keep it and come back to that later. Parasharatmajam. So when we talked about the great-grandfather of Vyasa and the grandfather of Vyasa, now comes the father of Vyasa. His name is Parasharam. So Atmaja is son. So Atmaja is son, one of the names for son. So he is the Parashara Atmaja, born to Parashara. So Parashara is the father of Vyasa, and then Parashara Atmaja, Vande, I salute. my namaskara. And this Vyasa is also Shuka Tatam. He himself is the father of, Vyasa himself is the father of Shuka. Shuka is another great. We know that our Bhagavatam is a conversation between Shukacharya and, not Shukracharya, Shukacharya and Parikshit, right? So that Shuka is the son of Vyasa himself. So that Vyasa is known by his son also. His son was more popular, I think. So he became more popular because of Bhagavatam. Tapo Nidhim. And this Vyasa is Akalmasham. In the first line, the word Akalmasham is there. And in the second line, the word Tapo Nidhim is there. So Akalmasham would mean blemishless. Vyasa had a great life, blemish-free life. But blemishless means here what? He is one who has got his senses in his control, and he is not given to raga, dvesha, extreme sense of likes and dislikes. He is not having the krodha, lobha. He has grown over it. When you say he is not having, you should say he has grown over it. He is matured. He's a totally matured person, and we are all on the same track. We are all maturing, and he is matured. So that is what akalmasham and blemishless, as translation goes. And taponidhim. Taponidhi is nidhi is the repository or the treasure. He is the source for all the tapascharya. Tapa is all the austerities, all the penance. There's no vrata, no penance which Vyasa has not performed. All the vrata, all the tapas, everything he has performed in his life, and because because of that he's got all the phala of all the tapas. He's a repository of all the merits of all the tapas, all the penance, all the vrata. Like we know vratas like what is that vrata we know? What is that? Ekadasa vrata. Some people Ekadasi mante hain, right? On Ekadash day, 11th day of the moon cycle, they don't eat. So that is a vrata. Likewise, you can add, that is a vrata which some people still do. You can add all the even for vratas. Vyasa has committed himself for all of them, and he has the blessings out of all those penances. That is our Vyasa. And then Vyasaya, then the next shloka. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave, Namo Vai. Now, before we go to the, let me finish the shloka. Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye, Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Anyway, in this shloka I can mention Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. Vyasa is not different from Vishnu Bhagavan himself. And we know only 10 avatars of Vishnu Bhagavan, but in my Gita, in my Bhagavatam, in the first chapter, in the Skanda, one of the chapters, there is 24 avatars of Vishnu Bhagavan we have covered. So that 24 avatars, one of the avatar is Vyasa also. So Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya is another form of Vishnu. Vishnu Rupa means form. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya means Vyasa unto Vyasa, towards Vyasa, who is another form of Vishnu. Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. So if you say Vyasa is another form of Vishnu, then we would think that Vishnu has several forms, as we said just now. But it says Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. Vishnu, there's no difference between Vyasa and Vishnu Bhagavan. And unless there's no difference, how could Vyasa might have accomplished such a huge task of bringing all the Vedas together? Like, these Vedas, all the Shaka, all the branches of the Vedas, those days, I think they would be restricted to some homes here and there, and right from this now called Afghanistan onwards, the Bharata Khanda, or even further, including some provinces in Russia, say. From there until this side, Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka, you can include. So many branches of Vedas were there, and they're all, some houses, some small communities they were chanting. So Vyasa collected all of that, and he categorized into 4 Vedas. I gave them, he's a great composer. The Vyasa name would mean great composer. Vishala Buddhi. Vishalata, that Vishala Buddhi is called Vyasa, the one who has got a magnanimous, a total vision. Had he not had that kind of a vision, then we would have lost many things which we are having now. So that kind of a totality, which total vision is there. So we all have to have that kind of a vision when it comes to our dharma, and see how this can also be live and be transferred to the future generations. So, but Vyasa, for that he didn't do any big organization or anything. He personally went, he collected all those shakas and branches, and he put together. And he is the author of the Puranas also, 18 Puranas. Bhagavatam, one Bhagavatam has got 18,000 verses. He is the author of 18 Puranas like that. He is the author of Mahabharata. He is the author of 18 Upapuranas. So who else can do other than Bhagwan himself, right? So that is the Vyasa. Namo Vai Brahma Nidaye. So Namo Vai Brahma Nidaye. Brahma is here Veda. So these are some of the differences you should see. Brahma can be Parabrahma. Brahma can be Brahmaji, the creator. And Brahma can be Veda also. Here Brahma is Veda. He is the repository. He is a source of all the Veda. Nidhaye again means treasure. He is a collector. He is he's got all the Vedas. He gave all the Vedas. Vasishtaya, and he is a great grandson of Vasishta, right? We just saw. So whoever came in the lineage of Vasishta, they'll be called Vasishta. Like Dasaratha's son is called Dasaratha, right? So likewise, this is Vyasa. So Namo Namaha, to that Vyasa Namaha. So Vyasa's mother's name we didn't mention. So that's what I thought I should say, that Vyasa's mother is Satyavati. Her name is Satyavati, and she is also an angel. She was an Apsara, and because of some curse, she was born in a fisherman's family, and then this Parashara was a great rishi, and Parashara gave that child to this woman Satyavati even before her wedding. So then Parashara said, "Don't worry, I have a Shakti where you will have this child and you will still remain, So with this month, because he wanted such a child to be born to such a great woman. So he did that. That is Vyasa's mother. And we should know Vasishta's wife also, Arundhati. Arundhati is also Vasishta Rishi's wife. So all these names are good to remember. Now, after this, we'll enter into the next shloka. Avikaraya Shuddhaya Nityaya Paramatmane Sadaikarupa Rupaya Vishnave Sarva Jishnave. Again, see, the Avikaraya means unto, towards. Because you see all this Vyasaya, Vyasa is a name, but what is this Vyasaya, Vishnu Rupaya, which is the fourth conjugate in Sanskrit, which is towards, unto, for, to, like that. Because in Sanskrit, all the prepositions are combined with the word, with the noun itself. Avikaraya Shuddhaya, Nityaya, Paramatmane. So Paramatmane is also towards the Paramatma. Sadaika Rupa Rupaya, Vishnave, Sarvajishnave. So here, this is a shloka for Vishnu Bhagavan. He is called Paramatma. Who are we? We are called what? Jivatma. So Bhagavan is called Paramatma, right? But we both, Bhagavan and we all have the same last name. What is that? Atma. The same last name, okay? So we all have the same last name. Bhagavan with Bhagavan. So which means our Swarupa, our Rupa, this Rupa is Jivatma. This Rupa, whatever, this Rupa is this form and the forms of my mind. This is all Jivatma. But my Swarupa, this is Paramatma. My Swarupa, if Paramatma is infinite, then even my Swarupa will be, will not be any different from Paramatma. So if you have a spark, so people say sometimes this spark of fire is just a part. So you tell me, is a spark of fire, is it a part of fire or is it fire itself? I know I cannot hear you because you're muted and I also put my microphone, but I can see you. If you want to say a spark of fire, I would say spark of fire is as powerful as the fire itself. Is even more dangerous than the fire. It can start somewhere, some fire, and we won't even notice until the whole thing is on flames, right? So spark of fire is fire only. Jivatma is, Jivatma's Atma is Paramatma only. So that is the thing we have to see. And avikaraya, there is no vikara. In Bhagavan, there is no vikara. We have so much vikara. What is our vikara? As a jivatma, right? We are born, which may not be a problem, but then we are so helpless, vardate, while growing, and then we have a lot of mental issues over time, a teenage crisis and middle age crisis and whatnot. Then we are deceased also, jara janma upakshiyate. Then old age, no need to ask. So all these problems are there. So this vikara. So when you say vikara, Bhagavan doesn't have this vikara. This Bhagavan doesn't have vikara, who is also our swarupa in reality, which we'll see in so many words in the Vishnu Sahasranama. Shuddhaya. Bhagavan is, again, Shuddha is what is pure. Purity is what? Purity is in terms of not getting affected. That is purity, real purity, right? This is not getting affected is a real purity. Shiva can be in smasana. Shiva can be wearing some ashes and all that, because he wants to help all those jivas to go for all the gati. But Shiva is taintless. He is pure. Like that, in spite of all our samsara, we should be pure. We should not get affected, not get the extreme swings of emotions and all that, so that we can conduct ourselves and make progress. So Bhagavan as that effortlessly. That is Bhagavan. We look up to Bhagavan to have those qualities. Nityaya, ever. Bhagavan is ever present, and in ourselves, our body comes and goes. Body is anitya. But our Swarupa is Nitya. Why is our Swarupa Nitya? Because in Gita, Bhagavan says what? He says in the 11th sloka and 2nd chapter, Natve Vaham Jatunasam Natvam Neme Janadipa Nachayvana Bhavishyamaha Sarve Vayamatah Param. Arjuna, what are you hesitating? Let me tell you this. There was not a time when I was not there. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says. And with the same breath, he says, there was not a time when you were not there also. Which Bhagavan will tell that, right? So Bhagavan is saying there's not a time when I was not there. I was there forever. I am there forever. Yourself, you are there forever. But let me also say, all your villains here, the enemies, who you are scared to who you don't want to fight at this point, there was not a time when they were not there also. They have been there forever also. So that is Bhagavan's message for Arjuna. So that is the Nitya Swarupa. Sadaika Rupaya. Sadaika Rupaya. When you see a rope, and if it looks as snake and a streak of water, I have given this example several times, and you can even add. So whatever it can look like, but what is the one form which is real? Rope, right? Rajju is the form which is real. Eka. So what is real is always that one Swarupa which is real. So that is Bhagavan, Bhagavat Swarupa. Sadaika Rupa Rupaya, Vishnave, Bhagavan Sri Vishnu. Again, Vishnave is the fourth case, which means unto Vishnu. Sarva Jishnave, my namaskara. Sarva Jishnave, he is the one who is, Jishnu is one who is victorious. He is victorious over everything. Everyone, it says here. Then the next sloka. Yasya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate namastasmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Yasya smarana matrena, just by whose thought, just by his thought. Janma samsara bandhanat, all the bandha, all that sense of bondage regarding myself being so limited in terms of my capacity, and limited is okay. Identification is of your limitation. Problem area is fine. I am that limited. That is the problem, right? I am only this. That I, centering that limitation on I is a problem. Because if you center the limitation on I, then I can also say how you are limitless also I can show you. So we have to either take this or that, right? So this Janma Samsara Bandhana, this bandha, this sense of bondage in terms of Janma is for the body only, right? In terms of body, in terms of bondage, in terms of taking myself, locating my I in the body and mind only. And that is the ignorance, right? So Janma Samsara Bandhanat, whose thought only can help us. Vimuchyate, who can liberate us from this bandha, samsara of avidya, samsara of ignorance. Who can do that? Namastasmai, to that Vishnu, Namastasmai, Namastasmai Vishnave, Prabha Vishnave. He is the Prabhu. Bhagavan is a Prabhu. Prabhu is one name, so it's a very common name. Prabhu is the one who can provide everything for us to be able to come out of this shoka and moha and all those byproducts of samsara. Samsara is okay unless you try to only think you're only that much, right? So that's a very dangerous thinking, right? That I'm only this much, I'm not more than this in any area, in your work and everywhere. So that is a samsara. Who can bring us out of that? Yasya smarana matrena. And then we are entering into the real, actual. These are all that I have told right now. These are all the prayers. These are all the prayers to help us chant Vishnu Sahasranama. And this Vishnu Sahasranama, you see that it starts with this sentence, right? Sri Vaishampayana Uvacha. Yeah. Shrutva dharman, you can repeat after me. Shrutva dharman aseshena pavanani cha sarvashah yudhishthirah shantanavam punarevabhya bhashat. Shrutva dharman aseshena pavanani cha sarvashah Yudhishthira Shantanavam Punarevabhya Bhashata. So with this sloka, we'll look into this sloka and we'll complete today's session. What I want to say in this sloka is Sri Vaishampayana. Vaishampayana was a great rishi. Some of you might have heard of Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya was a great rishi too. Vaishampayana is the mama, is the uncle for Yajnavalkya rishi. So uncle is even bigger, powerful. But Yajnavalkya proved himself to be even more learned. So this is the Vaishampayana Rishi. He is saying, Vaishampayana is saying, now Uvacha. So when somebody is speaking, it has to be to someone else, right? Who is Vaishampayana speaking to? Vaishampayana is speaking to Janame Jaya. He is speaking to that king called Janame Jaya. And who is Janame Jaya? He is the great grandson of Arjuna, right? So Arjuna is one of the 5 Pandavas, and he's a great grandson of Arjuna. Janame, his name is Janame Jaya. Janam Ejaya. Ejaya is to shiver, shake. The Dushta Janas, the one who are given to bad deeds in his kingdom, they will shiver seeing this king. And Janame Jaya also can mean all the Dushta Guna, all the qualities, Dushta qualities like anger, hatred, and whatnot. Those qualities will shiver. It won't stay this great king. It won't stand the great king, Janame Jaya. So to this Janame Jaya, Vaishampayana Rishi is saying, and what is he saying? He is making an observation. Vaishampayana is making an observation. He says, Yudhishthiraha. Yudhishthiraha is our first of the Pancha Pandava. He is Punareva Abhyabhashata. Yudhishthira is again speaking something to our Bhishma. What is the Bhishma's name here? Shantanavam. Santanu is the father of Bhishma. So because he is the son of Shantanu, Bhishma is called Shantanavam. So that means he's the son of Santanu. So Bhishma is another name. So Yudhishthira is asking something to Bhishma again. When you hear the word again, so it looks like Bhishma has already spoken so much to Yudhishthira. He has spoken after all that. Still Yudhishthira wants to ask something. So that is what it means. What did Bhishma speak to Yudhishthira? Because Shrutva word means heard. So what did Yudhishthira hear from Bhishma before he is asking again for something else? Dharman, all the dharma. He has asked, he has listened to all that is dharma, all that could be taken up in terms of dharma as a means for accomplishing any proper end. May it be for wealth or pleasure or prosperity or for moksha or for just to be good in all situations, just to be right in all situations. So for all this artha, kama, dharma, moksha, there are so many means. And as I told in the last session, there are different shades. It's not that always it's in black and white. I should only speak the truth. But then if it comes to protecting somebody, you may have to say a lie because that person may be in a vulnerable situation. Somebody's coming and hiding in your house, and you may have to say that and somebody is being chased by people. There's one rishi. I have told this story in my Gita class. Since many of you don't come to my Gita class, I'll say it again here. Okay. So the story is there's one rishi, and this rishi was meditating, and then there's one person who wanted to get saved. He comes and he goes inside the rishi's ashram. He says, "Please protect me. I need refuge. There are people who are chasing me." So all these rishis, they're all given to protecting the vulnerable. So then he said, "You go be there. I'll take care of you." So these people who were chasing him, they were coming with all knives and whatnot, and they want to get him. Then they're asking the rishi, tell us the truth. Did you see one man coming this way? The rishi he's in a dharma sankata. Sankata is he's in a difficult situation. He's in a fix. So he has to speak the truth. At the same time, he has to save that person. So what the rishi says, he says, the eyes which see can't speak, and the mouth which can say the truth can't see. So he said that. So this is the way. So then these people, they had to go with eyes. My eyes can see, but it cannot speak whatever you want to hear. Whereas my mouth, which can speak and tell you what it is, it cannot see. I'm just giving us a funny example, just to say how dharma itself can have different shades. And Yudhishthira is there learning everything from our Bhishma Pitama. Pavanani. This dharma is so all the sometimes the prayaschitta karma also. Puja Swamiji says when something goes wrong in your following dharma, what all the prayaschitta karma? That is a secret, right? We don't tell the prayaschitta karma before, then everybody will be given to adharma and then they think they can do some prayaschitta. So that is a secret. So even that Yudhishthira has been told by our Bhishma Pitama. Pavananija sarvashah, everything, not one area was left. But even after all that, Yudhishthira asked some questions. He got some serious questions. He says in the next verse, what is he saying? I'm not going to do the next verse, but we can just read that. Yudhishthira vacha kimekam daivatam loke kim vapyekam parayanam stuvantah kam kamarchyantah prapnuyur manava shubham. So he's called, in other word, next verse, we are all called manavas. Manavas in Tamil would mean students. But here manavas in all, we are all Manu's putra, from Manu. Human is also from Manu. So this is the manava, and what can everyone do? Bhagavan Yudhishthira is saying, Bhagavan Bhishma, now tell me that one thing. Like that, he's asking few questions. He's asking 6 questions. So we'll see those questions in the next session, along with the answers also. We'll have time for the answers also, and we'll keep making progress like this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.